All right, you mentioned Elon Musk. That's going to be number 8, Sam. Elon Musk was on Fox last night with one of his DOGE colleagues, who goes by the unfortunate nickname Big Balls. Here is Elon Musk. All right, but Big Balls talks?
Yes,
he talked. He identified himself too.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, here's Musk on Fox with the DOGE crew, including Big Balls.
The United States Institute of Peace. It's definitely the agency we had the most fight at. We actually went into the agency and found that they had loaded guns inside of their headquarters. Institute for Peace.
I mean, any given company, any given organizational name is going to be kind of be the opposite of the title.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it was by far the least peaceful agency that we've worked with, ironically.
Of course.
Additionally, we found that they were spending money on things like private jets, and they even had a $130,000 contract with a former member of the Taliban. This is real. We don't encounter that at most agencies.
Yeah.
What was the money going to the Taliban for?
So it was a contractor. They received $130,000 for generic services. And to Elon's point, there was not actually a clear description of what the contractor services were for.
Now, again, I guess the folks at DOGE don't think Taliban can be reformed. They don't believe in reform for the Taliban. I don't know. Just kidding. A weird thing. Okay, Amber. If you could turn if this way, if the Elon Musk and whoever's in charge of DOGE PR could turn the clock back, what do you think they might have done differently to be more effective? They've done these 2 big interviews now with Fox, one with Jesse, one with Sean, I believe, right? The first one was with Sean, I think.
Yep.
But you know, they've not been, their accounting hasn't been great. They overpromised and underdelivered. You know, if you just take what Elon has said. So if they could start over, what do you think they might have done differently?
So he also sat down for an on the record with reporters on, I believe it was Tuesday or Wednesday night.
About a dozen reporters. Were you in that?
Yeah. The Daily Caller was there. I was out of town, but our White House correspondent was there. And she asked Elon, there's been a lot of chatter about DOGE making mistakes, and you've admitted that they've made mistakes. If you could go back, how would you prevent those mistakes? And what are you doing to prevent them in the future? And his answer was along the lines of, well, we have like a 70 to 80% batting average, which actually I think is really good. But that, of course, doesn't make people feel really more comfortable with what has been happening. And I think the smart thing to do would have been to compile a comprehensive report over a period of time and dot the T's or dot the I's, cross the T's, and then release it all at once instead of being so trigger happy on X to say, we found this $100 million program. You'll never believe it. Here it is. Look at this, guys. And there's this ongoing thread of all of these programs. And then when people say, well, this includes this, or you actually weren't right on the accounting for the Social Security issue, they go, oh, our bad. We're going to actually pull back on that. It never looks good when you have to pull back on something. So take your time.
Correct.
Release everything in some kind of dossier where you have all of the information, all of the evidence that could be made public available to the people to look at this for themselves. And this is supposedly the most transparent administration in history. That's what they keep telling us. So it shouldn't be that hard to do that, I would think. Right.
Totally agree with you. So 70%, I always think about it this way. So if you do something at 70%, let's say you make 3 free throws, 70%. Pretty good, not the top in the NBA, but maybe Elon thinks 70%. I'm a very solid.
But Mark, you would foul the guy who was making 70% of his free throws.
Okay, so then you say, okay, let's say there was a Major League Baseball player who was hitting 700. Okay, that's
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame, easy Hall of Fame. But let's say you're a brain surgeon and the 70% survival rate for your patients, that's horrible, right? So I think Elon thinks he's either a baseball player or a basketball free throw shooter. And I think a lot of people are like, well, you're a brain surgeon. Like 70% is not that good if you're a brain surgeon, right? Or say a student getting 70%, that's a C student, right? So I just think Elon's got a weird attitude about 70%. That's what I think about that. All right. Hey, want to be part of the two-way community all the time? Hit the subscribe button. Great video clips like this, plus conversations like no other, full episodes and more, always available on this channel. You got to hit subscribe to never miss a thing.